Today, my dear friend, as you know, was I don't want to say the celebration because I told you how much I hate that and I despise that. But today was the recognition of what we call Memorial Day. And for the most part, it was the usual nonsense, nonsense about how we owe our freedom, our ability to speak. Why do people say this? What does the Vietnam War, what did Iraq, what did Afghanistan, what did any of this have to do with anything involving free speech? Answer me a question. Yay. Who are the people involved and who have been involved in the subjugation, in the limitation of your speech? Who has it been? Has it been the Vietnamese? Has Vladimir Putin or Zelensky or Bibi Netanyahu or Hamas or Hezbollah? Have they done anything? No. Who's it been? Who's it been? It's been corporate America, corporatocracy, corporate fascism. Those are the people who were involved in it. And nobody will talk about this because the typical Fox News crowd, I'm telling you, they live in this kind of a Frank Capra world where they believe this nonsense. They just keep perpetuating this stuff about how it's almost lugubrious. It's horrible. The picture of a woman holding, cradling, caressing a gravestone, and somehow they don't look at this as a mistake. They look at it as some kind of an investment that you have to have death in order to have freedom. So don't worry about it. That's the price we pay. So there's going to be more death coming along. So don't you let this bug you. I despise it. Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm saying? Because a lot of people, they don't get it. They're saying, what are you talking about? Because this is the bullshit that you are told constantly. Constantly. And I'm telling you right now, I put a thumbnail up and I've said it today, and everywhere I go, no matter what I do, no matter who I talk to, I try my best. I really, really try to tell people, to remind people about the problem of AI and AGI, but I'm wasting my time because people are unable to grasp it. Not you, of course, but some other people for reasons I don't know. I don't get it. There's another great story which was terrific, which everybody loves. It was terrific. You know it and I know it. And everybody loves this story. And you know, it was about Macron and the old lady, or whatever she is. Now, Candace Owens is convinced this guy is a dude, okay? Convinced he's a dude. Now, let me ask you one question, one simple question, okay? We'll get to this in a moment. Just take this event. Do you care? Who cares whether Brigitte Macron was born a man or not? Has a three-piece set or not? Who cares? Do you care? Anybody care? Do anybody care? Seriously. Do me a favor. I want to see some interaction. I love you all are nice and talking to each other, and that's beautiful. But enough of this hi, how are you business. So let's get down to brass tacks. Does anybody here honestly, truly, seriously understand? Do you care about this? Why does Candace Owens fixate on this so much? Why do so many people say, is he a man? Is he not a man? Is he not a man? Is he not a man? Michelle Obama. I don't believe for a moment she's a man. A man? No. I know. There was no reason for this. What was the point? What was the point? And people love it because people are mean. But do you honestly, seriously think that Michelle Obama was a man? I never thought that. She was a lot of things, and is a lot of things, which I don't particularly care for. But a man? Come on, stop it. Does anybody really think this? No, because people are just mean. There's this meanness. It's this trolling. But here's the question. Let me ask you. You know she had enough with this Macron because this was supposedly her student at some particular point. This might have been basically, in essence, problematic from a long time ago. And for whatever it's worth, there's always been suspicion that this one's a beard for this one and all this kind of jazz. Everybody's a beard. Oh, there's a lot of beards. Oh my God. This is the part that kills me, okay? This is the part that kills me. And let's get this out of the way, okay? Let's get this out of the way. Everybody repeat after me. I don't care about blank. We love to say, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care personally. I don't care personally about gender. Okay, fine. We get that. You get that out of the way because everybody loves to say that. I don't care. I don't care. I don't watch TV. I don't watch cable. Okay, fine. I don't care. I know you don't care. No, I really don't care. Okay, you don't care. No, I really, honest to God, really don't care. People love to tell you they don't care. And I'm not saying do you care where you lose any sleep over it. But what I'm saying is, does it matter? Does it matter? Ask yourself this very simple question. Listen to me very carefully. What is the only thing that is important and critical about anybody's gender or whatever? Answer my question. Answer my question. Answer my question. Answer my question. What's the only, when does it really matter? When is it important? When is it critical? Answer my question. Answer it. You ready? When it can be used for blackmail, that's it. When it can be used for blackmail, that's it. That's it. That's all I care about. Do you know how many beards, how many guys who are gay? If I told you, let me tell you something. If I told you, the people that we know and I know, Mrs. L knows, if I told you the list of people that everybody in showbiz knows to be gay, you would freak out. It would blow your mind. Now, there's something which is important where people kind of have this parlor game. Is he gay? We don't care about women. You notice that? Hey, Katharine Hepburn might have been, whatever. If Sharon Stone were gay, I don't know if she is, but nobody cares. Not because he's Sharon Stone, nobody cares about Sharon Stone, but because nobody cares about this. Because women are allowed a degree of intimacy. Okay. Women are able to be gay and are allowed greater leeway in terms of public intimacy and the like because society gives them the ability to do so via the notion of mother. What does that mean? Women are allowed to say, this is my girlfriend, this is my boyfriend. I'm sorry, this is my girlfriend, this is my girl. Oh, I've got such a crush. I've got such a girl crush. What was that thing called, honey? A girl crush. Is that it? I've got such a girl crush and a crush on this one and that one. I'm a crush on a crush. I got a crush on this one and a crush. Okay, fine. And they kept saying it over and over and over, repeatedly, over and over again about this crush they had. They had a crush. Okay, fine. And for some reason, I think sometimes women just kind of like to say that. Not all women, but a lot of women. And it's just it's the weirdest thing. Women could hold hands. Women could say, oh, you're so beautiful. You're so beautiful. Oh, she's beautiful. Oh, my God, she's beautiful. Isn't she beautiful? I think that's the weirdest thing in the world. We have this one phrase, oh, she's so beautiful. I say, why are you saying that? Now, if a man said the same thing, you say, whoa, hey. And I know a couple of men who always talk about, two in particular, who always talk about men being good looking. And I'm thinking one in particular, I think, is crypto gay. And the other one has some weird problems with his own degree of sexual dynamism and the like. I know that sounds crazy or weird, but it's a different story. But I really believe that. I think there's so much that is hidden and all this. Okay, fine. Society gives this universal pass on finding women attractive, both men and women, because of mother. Because the first person you ever meet in your life is your mother. It's a connection that everybody, men and women, meet mother. And it can be a very interesting thing too. Mothers can have a terrible effect. Oh my God, more than fathers. Have you ever met a mother, a woman who has the effect of a mother, a bad mother? Oh my God. Or a man who had a problem with his mother. And I don't believe this stuff about it. Gay men have dominant women. Nonsense. Nonsense. Gay men may have dominant mothers, but the dominant mothers didn't make them gay. It just may be that gay men have dominant mothers. There's just something to be said. But there's something critical, whereas society always allows people and puts a price on and the benefit for women, men in particular, and women, to find women attractive. Because if you don't find your mother attractive, you're going to die. If you don't look at a woman and you can't tell, if you don't feel some type of nurturing or, I don't know, emotional bond or, intimacy, or whatever you want to call it with a mother, you could very well die. So from the beginning, nature gives you a little bit of a push to like women, both men and women. Okay, maybe so. Then different story. So what I'm saying is, there's a lot of stuff that goes on. There are a lot of people out there who really have a hard time with the whole notion of gender, but also with sexuality. There's a bunch of men too who really enjoy, and I'll tell you right now, I don't care what anybody says. There is this idea of men who want to go out and throw themselves on the floor and be sweaty and fight. There's something about that. There is something about that. There is something very odd, something very, very strange about people who go out of their way to separate this notion of their own masculinity by virtue of the fact that they are this, whatever it is. I think that's very interesting. Don't you? Of course you do. I think it's fascinating. I think it is fascinating. And there are people who also are part of organized male things, homoerotic military, police, firemen, who are men, and we salute them, especially the military. And now there's a lot of us in the world who don't necessarily feel any kind of a compunction or any kind of a great simpatico or some kind of, I don't know what the word is, some kind of allure as far as hanging around with a bunch of men. Do you? I've got male friends, of course. I got buddies, but I do not go out of my way to congregate in groups or packs of men. I don't. I never have. Or women, or anybody for that matter. I think a lot of people are like me. I think we're like, well, okay, take them or leave them, or whatever it is. But there's this weird kind of fascination. Candace Owens, by the way, I think is very interesting because Candace Owens is a woman who does not fit the mold. She's a black woman who doesn't sound black, say black things, act black. I'm turning not in terms of actual negritude via morphology, but in terms of social, what she says, how she says it, the way she says it, the ideas. You don't get too many women who have, and there are many, who have no trace, no hint of black cadence. Have you noticed that? People similar to Condoleezza Rice or others. Have you noticed this one? Jasmine Crockett? Fannie Willis? Tiffany Henyard? No way. Look what's going on. Look where that is. So here's Candace Owens. She's probably been told a lot of times in her life, they probably called her an Oreo or something because she's a betrayal. She's betraying her blackness because here she is espousing all this white conservative stuff. And I think she does it very, very well. She's very, very smart. So all her life marries a white guy, like some Swedish looking dude. and hangs around. I mean, let's face it, she hangs around most white conservative, okay? And a lot of people use her as a reason to explain. See, even she says it. See, remember J.C. Watts years ago? See, J.C. Watts, see, he's one of us. See? So with that, there might be something deep down inside who, believe it or not, people who believe it or not, this is interesting. There are people who might consider her to be, and this is the most important, how do I say this? There are people who might find that she herself is dealing with imposters. She doesn't like the imposter like she has been accused of being one herself. Far-fetched? I don't think so. She has been accused in so many instances of being this white sellout, so to speak, right? See what I'm saying? This white sellout. Here you are. You're not black. You're not a sister. Whatever the hell the phrase. I have no idea. And she's maintained her, and I think she's an excellent spokesperson. Not black or white, but just in terms of everything. I think she makes a lot of sense. You see what I'm saying? So if anybody's going to really find they don't like imposters, whether it's Michelle, I don't know if she went after Michelle or Macron, because she had a, pardon my French, a hard on for Brigitte Macron. So the other part is what if Emmanuel had put his hand in her face? By the way, doesn't she look like E.T.? I mean, that's terrible to say. I'm not trying to make fun of looks, but she really, honestly, God, looks like E.T. I mean it. She looks like E.T. She looks like E.T. I don't mean to say this, but it's true. There have been people before who one looked like a basset hound, one looked like a silverback gorilla. I'm not going to tell you who. There are people who actually look. I said, look at this picture. And they say, you can't say that. I'm just saying, I'm very good at saying this is. Have you ever seen how some people look like an Afghan hound? Some people may be sylph-like or so. We're so afraid of speaking the truth. I am not one of those people, ladies and gentlemen. I am not one of those people. So what I'm saying is there's so much of this story which we could spend so much time, but nobody wants to, By the way, my new favorite one, as I love the fact that Trump is all of a sudden saying, hey, Putin, Putin says, listen to me. They sent 700 drones into my country. One of them tried to hit me in my helicopter. F you. I'm going after these people. I'm going to teach Kyiv a lesson. What would Trump do if all of a sudden, I don't know, Canada sent in 700 drones against him? See, we're the country, we don't fight back. Especially when they go after him and they try to kill him. We don't fight back because we're a bunch of wimps. There's one thing about Putin, which I love. The number one thing I love about this guy, he doesn't lie. When he tells you something, he means it. He's not exaggerating. He's not exaggerating. I can't say that enough. He doesn't say, Trump talks, sometimes Trump says some stuff just to kind of see what people are going to say. Putin doesn't do that. No way. Now, let me tell you one thing. I want to remind you of something. And I won't spend my time with you on this. Wait a minute. There's cut up says, we love sharing ideas that raise your eyebrows, my eyebrows. Okay. I think, I guess, if that's what you mean, are you raising my eyebrows? Or you're being the collective? I don't know. That's very interesting, though. I appreciate that. I've got 3 sponsors I told you about. No Doubt with Lionel, Prepare with Lionel, and mypillow.com. I've got them up there. I don't want to spend a lot of time telling you, look, emergency food is a good idea. If I have to tell you that, you are retarded. Okay? You're a subtard. If I have to tell you that, if I have to tell you, you might want to do this, there's no hope for you. If I have to do that. And I don't think I have to do that. Second of all, no debt. People are freaking out. They don't know what to do. Nobody wants to talk about it because whenever we talk about it, somebody in the crowd will say, well, I don't have any debt. I'm debt free. Oh, I don't know what the big deal is. That's my favorite. It's like, why are you doing this? Well, I don't have any problem with that. I don't know about that. Well, a lot of people freaking out. So no debt without Lionel. Just read these. And of course, Mike Lindell, that brave son of a gun, is still there. Still there. Unbelievable. So those are our sponsors. I put the links there. Go. Okay? Support them because they support us. All right? That's it. Now, some other stuff which is just fantabulous. Wait a minute. Cut Up says, Lionel, we got to get up and study to catch up with you. I think of you as one of my buddies. Absolutely. That's the greatest thing anybody could ever say. And make sure you're subscribed here to this Lionel Nation thing. Make sure you're subscribed to it, which is critical. Sometimes I'll see it's like all of a sudden you go through these big swaths. All of a sudden you just lose like all these people. It's like, why? Where did people go? Where did they? I don't really drop from people. I don't find myself once I connect. I hope you also signed up for the newsletter. Sign up for it right now. I've got one coming out. In fact, let me give you this link today. Make sure you sign up for it. It's on Memorial Day. Oh, this got people going because it's my thought, which I think I've made abundantly clear as to how I'm so sick and tired of everybody saying, they love to be, that Fox News kind of, oh, we believe in supporting our troops. Yeah. I've heard this a million times. And nobody ever has anything to say in any way that is negative or that is not in support of our troops. But I got to tell you something. I think a lot of these folks really, honest to God, the link's right there, by the way. Good, sign up for that. I think people just get almost like fetishistic about war in some respects. In that. Okay. Other stuff which is good. Some old stories which were so great. I found these terrific. I'm still thinking these great. March 18th. Still trying to figure out. The Trump administration still released over 31,000 documents, and nobody's ever said, excuse me, you didn't. This is March. Hello. You didn't release anything. Nothing. This is in March. Nobody's following up. Nobody. Did you see this on May 20th? Around the time of a phone call between Vladimir Putin and Donald Trump, Russia's enigmatic Cold War era UVB-76 doomsday radio station transmitted two cryptic codes, renewing speculation about its purpose. Known for emitting a continuous buzzing, the station occasionally issues mysterious broadcasts, leading to various theories ranging from military communications and nuclear deterrence mechanisms to mind control and even extraterrestrial contact. Do you hear anything about that? Of course not. May 21st, Elon Musk launched a fierce verbal attack on Bill Gates. Remember that? 2 billionaires criticizing the Microsoft co-founder over the past connection to Jeffrey Epstein. And the remarks came after Gates accused Musk of endangering global health by cutting U.S. foreign aid, particularly to HIV prevention programs. Musk responded during an appearance at the Bloomberg Qatar Economic Forum, dismissing Gates' moral authority due to his meetings with Epstein, stating he wouldn't trust Gates to babysit his children. Did you see that? See, that's still going on. Did you ever hear this? Did you ever hear in November of 2024, Iran's alleged attempt to assassinate Trump? Did you ever hear this one? Iran ordered an operative to assassinate Donald Trump before the 2024 election. So according to Manhattan prosecutors, federal prosecutors, the revelation is it was the latest in a series of assassination plots directed at the former and future president. Did you hear about that? Do you believe that? Do you believe that? Do you? Does Iran pose a threat to you? Nope. Nope. April 2025, UK scientists were set to launch outdoor geoengineering experiments as part of a 50 million pound government-funded program. The small-scale trials aim to test methods of reflecting sunlight to slow the climate process. That's solar radiation management. Why do you think anybody ever said anything? Remember December of 2024? Belief in a government plot to connect aircraft condensation trails has been boosted by confusion over proposals to geoengineer a response. See, this was going under the news here, but nobody's talking about that. Instead, they're talking about, I don't know, Regime Macron slapping other people. 2 years ago, July 2023, a patent held by Moderna had been considered in some social media posts to claim that its COVID mRNA vaccine contained programmable nanotechnology capable of interacting with 5G communications. Remember this one? Now, this has been refuted, so they say. But this is some of the most important stuff in the world. Anybody talking about that? No. What are we talking about? I don't know. Where do I go for this stuff? I know where not to go. How about this? In May, remember disinformation regarding Pope Francis and the conclave? Remember in March of this year, there was a talk about whether Putin had body doubles? Remember, there's talking now about there is this crazy idea that's being propounded that people have suggested that the government and others are involved in high-level, big, serious child trafficking cabals at the highest levels of government. They consider that to be a conspiracy theory. Do you think that? I don't know if there's any proof of it, but do you think that's out of the ordinary? Of course not. See the way they do this? Do you see what's happening? This is what I want you to be aware of. This is what I want you to be aware of and to think of constantly. I want you to be aware. There's so much news. Do not let, and this is critical, do not let the government or the news tell you what to worry about. You tell them what's critical and what's important. By the way, there's so much great stuff. Alex Jones has been better than ever. Look at this one. Virginia high school boys under investigation for opposing transgender girl in their locker room. Transgender girl. You know what that means, don't you? Aerial footage of wild human smuggling. Busts in desert borderlands. A bust. Scientists baffled by mysterious metallic orbs. The British Empire launched a secret plan to develop AI 170 years ago. And anything involving the truth or alleged truth regarding South Africa, forget it. My friend, what I'm doing is I'm throwing things at you. I'm not here to be your newsman. I'm not Walter Cronkite. I'm leading you. And I'm telling you, go find this out. You have this ability here. Do not let people determine what your news is. Get rid of this left and right and all this. Remember one thing. The 80 million people who voted for President Trump did not vote for the Republican Party. They voted for President Trump. It's MAGA, not GOP. Does this make any sense to you? Does this make any sense? Okay. In addition, make sure every single day you set this from 1 to 5 a.m. Oh, it's fantastic. Overnights with me, Lionel on WABC, the 50,000 watt flamethrower. They don't know what to make out of it. And it's great. They're the best. They let me say whatever I want. I can't believe it. I'm wondering at any moment, they're going to tell me that's enough. Nothing. Because they're one of us. That's all I'm going to say. All right, my friends, make sure you plot. Thank you so much. Make sure you listen to Mrs. L at Lynn's Warriors. Go. What is it Tim Estes? She did a video with a fellow named Tim Estes that is the best story about AI you're ever going to hear. It is phenomenal. Cut up, by the way, says science fiction of all those national enquirers. Thank you. I don't know what that means, but thank you. I appreciate that. Lynn's Warriors, Lionel Legal, and also Lionel Nation. Make sure you are subscribed. Make sure you follow. Listen to what I'm talking about. Remember, you and I are on a very unique collision course with the truth. We don't care what people say. We don't care. We don't care whether we fit in or not. It doesn't matter. We're in charge. Let me leave you with this one thought. The Democrats are not going away. If you don't crush them and wipe them out, they're going to come back bigger and badder than ever. And that's one thing I'm sorry we're not doing. Kash Patel, Dan Bongino, complete jadrules. If they think we're going to believe that Epstein committed suicide. And Pam Bondi, step it up. Step it up. So far, to date, there has not been, think about that, no perp walks, no nothing. Do you hear what I'm saying? No nothing. There's something very problematic with that and very sad. Something very, very, makes me very angry that we have not seen, what is it, 120, whatever, something days? We've seen nothing. Absolutely nothing. Anyway, we'll give the president his due. We will never let him down or turn our back on him. We love you. Have a great and glorious day. Thanks so much for watching. Please, thanks for your comments. Comment after all of this. And don't forget, as we always say, my friends, the monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue you. Da-da.